Ode to Joy, then we'll do Study in C major, and then we'll do the last one, which is Ecossaise in G major by Beethoven. So yeah, two of them are by Beethoven, and one of them is by, I think it's Isaac B. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Okay, let's start with Ode to Joy, because that one's the easiest. Okay, so you see on the score, you notice here is E, F, G in the right hand, and you notice in the bottom here, I notice a little scribbly, C and G. So you play these two together, wherever you see their circles, that's why I put down here. You see the circles, it means you play those at the same time. So it's like this. Like that. So you notice the right hand, you start on E, and then the left hand, you start on C and G. And the good habit to play is, the good habit to do when you're playing is to always have both hands on the piano if you're doing both left hand and right hand for a piece. If it's one-handed, you can always put your left hand down, or like the other hand down. Depends on which score or which staff you're playing on and which hands you're supposed to play with. So this one is for both hands, therefore both hands should be on the piano at all times. It's a good habit. Next step, basically, you got to figure out where the notes and the keys you got to be playing in, and then figure out the timing for each note. So if you learn the rhythm fruits, to recap, these notes here are called whole notes. And then this note here is called quarter note. In the rhythm fruits, we use these, we call these, this one's called watermelon, that's written here, watermelon, whole note equal to watermelon, or the oval one means watermelon. So ovals mean watermelon. The reason why we call it watermelon is because it has 4 syllables. So we go watermelon. So that's 4 syllables. Watermelon. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for quarter notes, we use peaches. We use peach or plum. Singular, peach or plum. Why? Because it has 1 syllable. So it's like peach, 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 peach. That's 4 peaches. That's equal to a watermelon. And then, yeah, it's equal to 1 beat. So every time you see quarter notes, these things here, you call it plum or peach, whichever one you prefer. Some students call it peach because they like peaches more. Some people like plums more, so we call it plum. And then the bottom here, you see this little one here is called, I'm gonna make this nice and big so you can see it better. This is called, half note, or what we call is an orange. Orange, or you can say apple. Apple or orange, they both have 2 syllables. So it's clapped as apple. So kind of like plum, 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 and peach, 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 peach. And then there's a half notes, which is like apple, 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 apple. So if you clap them together, let's say left hand is doing, let's say, I don't know if you, actually, you know, I'm going to do it this way. On the piano, I'll show you the difference between each note. So note value for whole note. The right hand is going to do peaches, or sorry, not peaches. It's going to do plums. So it's going to go plum, 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 plum. And then the left hand is going to do watermelon, and then it's going to do orange or apple. I'll choose orange because that's the one that was a fruit that I chose for all you guys. So let's do it. So it's like this. So left hand is doing watermelon. So I'll count watermelon while the right hand is doing plum. So you can kind of say out loud plum, or in your head just kind of go plum, 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 plum. So you can follow along the right hand while I'm doing the left hand. So watermelon, watermelon, watermelon. Now the left hand is going to do oranges. Or sorry, not oranges, orange, singular. Orange, 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 watermelon, orange, orange. So now you can kind of tell the difference. There's 2 orange that makes 1 watermelon. Or you could fit 2 orange into watermelon. I don't know if that makes sense. Because, you know, watermelon, this has 4, and then orange has 2, so that means watermelon has 4, if you know how to do basic math. 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2, and an orange is 2. So that means you can fit 2 oranges into 4. So that's why there's 2 oranges. And then plums, well, plums equal to 1b. So you can fit 4 plums into 1 watermelon and 2 plums into an orange. So it all kind of makes sense if you know basic math. You can kind of do the calculations and it all makes sense. All right, so now we got the rhythms down. Let's move on. Oh, and you might have noticed this. This is called a dotted quarter note, and this is called an eighth note. So how that is played, instead of going like, that's what happens if you're just doing plum, plum, orange. But we're doing so what you just did there is basically I don't know how to say this in fruits yet. I haven't figured out a easy way to do it yet, but we'll get there. For now, just remember it as syncopation. It's just like you don't say syncopation, but you just kind of go da da instead of going dot dot dot. What that means is just instead of making it all even in each note, you're kind of like making the first one long, and then it goes long, short, long. Just like that. Instead of, that's what you usually do if it's just plums, 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 you know, that kind of thing. But you're doing a dotted quarter note and an eighth. So it's like long, short, long, because you see another orange there. So long, short, orange. So we could just do that instead. So to do dotted eighth note, no, not dotted eighth note, dotted quarter note and an eighth note, you just basically do that. Long, short, orange for that half note at the end of that first line. All right, so now let's try it together. The notes in the left hand, the easy way to remember them in your left hand. Those notes for first line, basically just remember the word cube for the bottom notes, and top is just always G. Consistently G. G, 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 G. Even to the fourth bar is basically the top note's always G. The bottom note though is when it changes. So the bottom note for the first bar is C, then it goes to B, and then it goes to E on the third bar, and then it goes down to D, C, and G. Back to G. Sorry, no bottom note on the fourth bar. So what you do there is basically here, let's do it. So to remember the last 2 bars, those notes on the bottom, the bottom notes of the left hand, basically E, D, C, and G. I guess going back up. What we did there is just kind of split it in half. So C, E, B, I used the word cube, and then D, C, G, with the student, we used dog, cat, and gummy. So let me just notate that. Here you go. Hopefully you can see that. There you go. So that's the dividing line. So the first one before that gray line is basically CBE, which stands for cube. And then after that, so CBE, that's cube. And then we did DCG, which is dog, cat, gummy. So let's try that. And then left or right hand, you're just doing the melody of Ode to Joy. That's pretty familiar. So yeah, let's now put them together. So it's like this. Every 4 note, you change the left hand for first to first, and then third bar, you just do that orange plum plum thing, and then back to that every, you know, hold for fourth bar, you just kind of hold the left hand while the right hand just plays the whole thing. That's it. Just while your right hand is playing its melody, your left hand just holds it. That's it. All right, to make it more clear, I'm just going to demonstrate it. So here, 4 notes. You can follow along. And now next 4 notes. So you notice it is CG. Then after 4 notes, I switch to GB. So let's do it again. So that's 4 notes. Let me just do the counting so in case you need me to do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 notes in the right hand. Now switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now next switch. This one is called an orange, so you're supposed to only hold it for 2 right hand notes because they're all plums, right? So because 2 plums equal to 1 orange. So and after that, 2 plums in your left hand and 2 plums on your right hand. So that's 2 quarter notes each. So that means you're just kind of playing it like you're not holding anything. So at the same time, you change notes. So you notice there's DE in your right hand and then DC in your left hand. You could look at it like you're playing like that scale. It's kind of like what you call it, contrary motion, I think. If you didn't learn contrary motion, just remember you're throwing on D for both hands and you're going outwards. So instead of going like that's parallel, you're doing outwards like this. See how I went from D and you go out, and now you're bigger than 8 notes. See? That's 8 notes apart, and now you're going to 1 note beside each other. Think of it like chopsticks. It's like playing chopsticks. I think a lot of you already learned chopsticks. So you start from D and D, then you go to C and E. You make that nice sound. So play third bar is like this. So that's pretty nice. So it's like this. Oh, sorry. Orange. So orange. Plum, plum. And last bar, hold the G with the E. And then just hold that G until the end of the bar while the right hand's doing that syncopated notes. And ending with orange. So that's the end of the first line. So together, to recap. So that's the first line of Ode to Joy. That's how far we've gotten to so far right now, but I can show you the rest of it right now. Oops, my bad. Okay, let me do the rest of it. Whoa, that line just moved. Oops. Okay, so I'm just gonna, no idea how to, sorry, that one line is there. Okay, so I'm gonna play the whole thing. For Ode to Joy, this is what it's supposed to sound like from beginning to the very end, till that last line. Sorry. Now we're on third line. Alright, that's basically the whole Ode to Joy. Hopefully that was very helpful. Let's now move on to the next one. We're going to do Study in C major. This is for Malika. Alright, let's do new share. Isaac Berkovich. Okay, let's play this one now. Hopefully you can see the new one. It's called Study in C Major by Isaac Berkovich. Or Berkovich. I don't know how to pronounce it. I think is it Austrian or German or something? If you know how to pronounce it, do put that in the chat or whatever. Anyways, let's play this one. So same aspect. It's just basically same procedure. You see both hands there, which is kind of shown by having 2 stabs with a line in between. Like, where it says piano, you see that little line that links both stabs. That means it's for both hands on the piano. And when you see that, I mean, put both hands on piano, left hand right on keyboard, and that's where you start. And then you find the first starting notes. So here you start on left hand, right on middle C. And then there's a G above middle C. That's your left hand, and then your right hand starts on C. So your 3 notes, it's like that. Middle C, the G above, and then the C above. 1 octave above middle C. So that's your starting place, and now let's get to it. So you see in your right hand, you're doing a lot with your right hand. These are called 16th notes, and then they do groups of 3s. So it's like 16th notes leading into 8th notes, and then 16th notes. Sorry, and then basically it's just 16 notes leading into 8th notes, and then after that in bar 4, you get quarter note. So let's do that. So that's the whole thing, and I'm going to now break it down to you so you can understand what I just did and how to do it, how to do exactly what I did. I didn't add dynamics or anything yet because we are not there yet. However, with dynamics, it will sound a little different. So here, you start off with this, the 3 notes just mentioned as before, middle C, G above, and 1 octave above the middle C is C. As your starting note, and then you're just going to do this, basically a C major scale, but you're doing it in groups of 3. So you're just going to do, like written, C, D, E. So it's like a short, short, long, short, short, long, short, short, long, short, 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 long, short, short, long, short, short, long, long, long. And those F, E, you see there's a little dot there called staccato. So you make those really short. So it's like this, short, short, long, short, short, long, short, short, long, 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 short, short, long, long, long. Short, long, very long, very long. So let's do that. So for the quarter notes, you say very long, very long. So you hold it for the right amount of rhythm or timing. I don't know the real word for it, sorry. But basically the right length, I guess, length of time for those quarter notes. Let's just say very long, very long. And then for 8th note, it's just long, long. And then for 16th note, it's short, short. So short, short, long, short, short, long, short, short, long, 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 short, short, long, 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 very long, very long, very long. I recommend you clap this first before you play it because it might help you with the rhythm. Now let's go to the notes. The notes in the left hand is pretty simple. You start on with this, C, G, then it's just like as written, and it goes to A, F. It's just right beside the G. So here's G, you find the F and A right beside the G. Then the next note, you just kind of raise the F note here to here and keep the A. So it's like this. So hopefully that helps you. And then the last note there for that little section is G. And then it repeats again. Back to C, G, and then A, F. Then it changes. It goes to G, F, E, C. So that's your left hand there. Let's put both hands together. So basically, let's just read the notes as written there. C, D, E. D, E, F, E, F, G, F, E, staccato, D, F, E. And then the left hand plays F, A, is written there. And when the right hand is playing E, and then it goes up to D, E, F. Then you switch it, you play this chord again. So this is the 3rd chord that we're talking about with the raised F to the black key, F sharp. You play with E, so you staccato the E and C. in your right hand, like that. And then you play ED with G. So let's do it again. Now you switch. Left hand change to the black key. Like that. And then last one, G, E, D. And now back to beginning. Or not beginning, to the repeat the same part as beginning. So back here. F, E. This one. Same thing again like before. And this time it's different. You do G, E, F natural and D. So like that. Parallel motion. And then C. C. So E, C, and then finish left hand on C. So to play that again. So that is the first line. Now, we didn't go into this section yet, but basically this is how that sounds like. Starting from left hand now is playing the melody. And right hand is doing chords. That part on line 2, we're gonna start with right hand playing chord. B here, up middle C. So middle C is here, here's B, and I find a G above on the right. Not this one, but it's the higher G, away from middle C. So it's not this one, that's your left hand note. Your right hand is playing this G. It should look like this. So now let's begin. So you start on G, and then you go to F sharp. So it's like chromatic, it's like a chromatic scale. Or G major, you could say. So then you go to natural. So natural F, and you go down like a scale. Then you go on to right hand is doing C, G. And then same notes in your left hand. That. But then you go down to E, like as written on the score. So left hand is doing this. That's what's played right now. And then after that, you're doing back to B and G. So what you do there is basically you hold that right hand all the way till the end till you play that. You don't play that chord again. You just hold it B and G, and then you kind of play it like this. Let me show you. It's almost like you just kind of didn't have that note there, and it's just basically a rest. Like, I don't know, whatever. Imagine there's a whole rest right there. I know I didn't do a good job drawing a whole rest, but yeah, just imagine there's a whole rest there, and you're not playing the note there. You're just holding that previous chord, B and G, all the way to the end of that second bar until your right hand is back to playing the melody. So let's start from that bar with the B and G. So again, same as the previous one, the first bar right here. It's like that. It's kind of similar. The notes are very similar to here. So it's the same notes, but the rhythm is a little different. So let's play it. Sorry. And now here changes. 8th notes, not 16th notes, but same notes. So this last one, instead of 8th note, now it's gone to a quarter note. So it's like basically went double time, not double time, it went half time. So now it's taking longer. So like before, now it's, you see a difference? slower the second time. So after that, this whole section here, this little middle section goes like this. And back to G. So we can call this basically, I'm going to put S2 for here. Oops. S2 for section 2. And then we can call this beginning part section 1. And now we're going to go back to section 1 again, basically. I know basically it looks like I put down C, like, you know, Spanish, C, but like, yeah, it's actually S1. So I'm going to make that nice and clear. This is S1. Anyways, I'm just gonna, there we go. S1, S2, section 1, section 2. Basically, this is a ABA form or ternary form. You're going to learn this later on. It's called song form. ABA song form. So, all right. So now we're going back to basically the beginning part. This part is the same as here, except this part changes. So we're basically doing this part. We're not going to play this part here. This part is basically just like not repeated. We're basically going to do here to here again. Oops. So this part is basically mirroring the other part that was just circled. So now let's play it. I played that twice because I made a mistake the first time, but basically, after you play this part, we're playing this back to right here. So hopefully that helps. The notes are written all here, and oh, here's another note here. So it's called a slur. If you see different notes with the line like this, you see these little things? That's called a slur. Because there's different notes here. G, F sharp, G, F, E, D. You know, like when you see this is called a slur. But if it's like this, it's called a tie. So that means you hold these, it's just like this one. You hold this and you don't play that same note again. So that's called a tie. And this is called a slur. And this song is in ABA form. Hopefully that helps. It's just like Beethoven's Ode to Joy. They're all ABA form. Except for the next one. The next one we're going to cover, this is actually in ABCD form. So let's now go into the next one. So here is Ecossaise in, oops. Hold on. Ecossaise in, just hold on. I'm just going to make sure. So Ecossaise in G major, new share. Okay, so this one now. Hopefully you can see the screen, and we're on Ecossaise. So Ecossaise basically is ABCD form, I think. Yeah, we could call it ABCD form. So this is very different from the Beethoven's Ode to Joy and Study in C major. All right, so let's make this a little bigger so you can see what's going on here. Can this be made here? Yes, it can. All right. So here's Ecossaise. So in the beginning, you basically start off with your right hand. Right hand is starting on B. And the whole key is basically G major. You're playing like a pentascale in the first two bars. And this first little bar here, oops. This first little bar here, let me just draw. This bar here It's called anacrusis. 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 And anacrusis just means a pickup line. Pickup bar, or pickup, not pickup line, sorry, pickup bar. My bad. Pickup bar. A pickup bar just means it's like, you know, when you count. Let's say this. The bar is 2, 4, right? So it's like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then let's just say for that one, it's like 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and so that's just going to be on the end of 2, like 1 and 2 and like that. The easiest way to kind of look at it is basically, because that's the actual way how to look at it. That's the easier way to figure out how to do it. Basically, imagine, okay, let's do this way. So each of these is equal to 1 beat, okay? So that's equal to 1 beat. Every 8th note is 1 beat. So that means this one, imagine there's 1, 2, 3, and then this will be on 4. Oops. So here, whoa, is 4. So this comes in on beat 4. Oops. So it's like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the rhythm. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now just kind of write that in. Oops. Whoa. Why is this looking like that? All right. There we go. Hopefully that helps you with figuring out what I'm doing. So this is the rhythm again. Or tempo. That's tempo, sorry. Okay. Let's go from beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So that's the reason why I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I clapped it twice, because these are 2 16th notes. So 2 of these. Sorry, let me just do it this way. 2 of these. That's a 2 16th notes equals to 1 of these. Okay, that's sorry. I'm gonna maybe make this look more like a 16th note. There we go. So this is the 16th note, and this is a sorry. This is the 8th note here. 8th, 8th, and then this is equal to 16th. So 2 16th equals to 1 8th. That's why I put that as together like that on beat 4, because each 8th now is 1 beat instead of quarter notes to make it easier for you guys to figure out what I'm doing. All right, so now let's clap the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I'm doing the right hand, by the way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. And this again is just continue on of all that stuff. So yeah, that's basically the rhythm. If you're wondering where the anacrusis goes, this is 1, 2, 3. If you notice the 8th notes above here, and in the left hand. See, so 1, 2, 3, and then this is the 4th. So this 4 actually would belong to here, but they put it in the beginning, so now it's like split. So that's where that goes. So let's now put in the notes. So starting on G, G major, throw out the whole thing. Whoops, my bad. very small. All right, let me do it again. Sorry, playing it sideways. If you notice what I'm doing, I'm just kind of like here. I'm kind of like this. Now you see me. I'm looking at the screen that's like it's not on the piano. It's not here. So I'm looking at the screen, which is sideways. So I'm not looking at my key. I'm not looking at my hands either. So like, sorry if I make mistakes because I don't know what I'm playing. All right, let's do it again. So if you notice there, these two, they're a little different. These notes here, these two here, they're different notes. And then it goes back to that, whoops, it goes back to that G that we're used to. So basically those two notes are these two, C and B. So make sure you don't make the mistakes there and you play that with the A sharp in your right hand or B flat. So when you hit this note, you play these two keys with your left hand. So let's start from the beginning. Sorry. So now we ended up on end of the first line. We're going to do second line. So let's start from the beginning of the first line. All right, so this part here, this last little bar, if you notice here, wait, let me just screenshot this before save. Okay, and now we can just kind of clear the board. Clear. And now we're gonna have the same thing here. Oops. This is the same as up here. So same ending. But we're going to change everything else. So let's do third line, which is the hard, that's where the hard part starts. Third line and fourth line is the focus part of this week, I think, for Felix. All right, so let's do it. Here. That's the right hand and the left hand. So the left hand's a little tricky. You got to do that arpeggio or 4-note chord, but you're playing it with octaves. With just your left hand, not with your right hands helping it. So, sorry. So you got to practice that. That's a little bit challenging. And then the next bar here in the fourth line. So the easiest way to do that is basically, this is G chords, this is G chord. These two repeats, and so do these two. But they're different chords. This is a D7, and this is called a C chord, both in C, and they repeat twice. And this is basically, it's just the scale of the D major of the ending. Oh no, not D major, sorry. This is a D7th, sorry. Yeah, not major some, but it's like the D7th kind of thing. I don't even know what I'm doing. But anyways, I don't even know if it's correct. Is it D7 kind of thing? Anyways, because I remember major, D major, it has a C sharp because major has a two keys. But with the 7th, I think it's flat to 7th, right? That's dominant 7th. D 7th. Yeah, D dominant 7th, I think that's what it is. D dominant seventh is with the flat seventh. So instead of the sharp, which is the major, the D dominant seventh is different from a major seventh, where you flat the seventh. So here it goes down to here. You got that. I guess that's how the scale is like now. So that's how that ends up. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what happened there. But anyways, let's just play the fourth bar. So here. So it's D7, then it goes to G, then it goes to C major in octave, left hand, then down to B in the left hand, and you're doing G again. Let's put that down. So this is G, and this is G. Oops. Oops. There we go. So G and G. Okay, let's go. That's 2 bars. And then you do that dominant seventh thing, but it's ostinato. So your left hand's just kind of doing this. And your right hand is doing kind of like a scale. Consecutive notes right beside each other. And together it's like that. And back to G, just like the ending. And that's it. 4th line done. So let's start from 3rd line, and then let's finish up till the end. So that's the 3rd line till the end.